welcome back. Another day, another vlog, Monday edition. Big day today, lots to get through. Gonna get started fairly quickly. Well, I did go out last night, or this morning, shooting. So first chance I got out and I went out to Bells Rapid. I sort of did all my research, usual thing. Checked photo pills, got all that lined up. Wanted a sunrise, checked the clouds and all that a few days ago. It was all crystal clear and going to be sort of good. I was hoping to get the sun come over the hills and then sort of maybe a bit of golden light if I could on the rocks and the water. Now I know there's a bit of water there, and I thought, oh, that'd be pretty cool. Something different. I've only done a few sunrises, so I thought that might be quite handy. Teespring.com, don't forget. So yeah, I thought, oh, that'd be cool. Get out there. It started raining last night. Not good. I wasn't super impressed about that, but and that wasn't even in the cloudy cover. I checked again. It should be all right. Should still clear up. And it did. It was still patchy. And when I got there this morning, I think about 4:30. 4:45, it was just drizzling rain and then sort of a little bit heavier, so I had to hide under a tree. I forgot the umbrella. Big mistake. So I couldn't really set up on a tripod and just wait for it to get the right light. So I had to sort of guesstimate when it was going to come, keeping an eye on it, and I sussed out it when it walked around for about half an hour, worked out a few different compositions, tried to work out what I could use and what would look good with the light, because that's all I was sort of chasing. It was pretty funky. There was a heap of foam sitting on the surface of the water. Obviously, it's all new water and lots of dirt and crap in it, so lots of suds coming up. So that was pretty cool against the rocks. So I got a couple of shots with that. The video, I think, will work out actually not too bad, because in the end I did find a couple of good shots, and I think when I had to, wait until the sun sort of come over. And I got an ND filter on, 1000 ND. And that came up pretty good as well. So I think we should have a good video in it. So I'm pretty confident we should be okay. Wasn't what I planned, but I just changed a couple of options. That wasn't working. I got as much as I could out of that one. Went over, found another spot which was shaded. That worked, and then we went from there. So I think it'll work out well. Now the good news is, with the rain, I got to check out my new jacket from StormTech, fully waterproof, very, very good, and actually really warm. It was pretty cold, and that's all I had on top. If you haven't checked out StormTech, they're pretty good. I think it does up to 5,000 millimeters of rain in 24 hours, and it stays waterproof. So I was really wrapped with that. So that's going to be a new definite, and it's nice and small, so it's an ultralight. You can crush it up into your bag and roll it up, and it's not going to take up too much room. And super mega comfortable and fits like a glove. The inside is super soft, so now it's probably going to be my go-to jacket for a while, I think. Might have to look at that, getting a different color as well. Have a couple of versions, so when one's dirty. So that worked out pretty well. So I was super stoked with that. So go check out StormTech. If you're looking for a waterproof jacket, I can definitely recommend them. It is really, really nice and good quality. And customer service is really good. Straight away, they got back to me when I ordered it and said, look, hey, we've got some dramas with COVID. We've got to get this one from overseas. It's going to be a bit of delay. Is that okay? We can cancel if you want. So no dramas really up front, which is really good from customer service, which is very rare in Australia. Our customer service for Australian companies are pretty average. Great to see an Australian company that's forthright and upfront. So that was really cool. And it didn't take that much longer. It was only, I think, an extra 4 or 5 days than what I was hoping. So no dramas at all. So very good. Thank you, StormTech. Much appreciated. Now, if you haven't already seen, the ALPHGVRD video is up. So that was what I was hinting to on Friday. My Canon M50 with its new wrap, the vinyl wrap from ALPHGVRD. If you look on Instagram, it's under Lifeguard, so LYFDGVRD, guard. So they're using the U as the V is the U. But yeah, or just website ALPHGVRD. They've got M50. They do the EOS R range. I think they've got a few other ones. They got Sony's on there, some Nikons, and a few others. They do lenses as well. They don't do the Sigma 16, unfortunately. There's not much on here. I don't really, not a real lot you can do. But look, the fit and finish was really good. I'm super stoked how it come out. It looks good. It's nice and protected. Any sort of scratches, it's going to get the vinyl. It's not going to get the camera. It's going to mean that my camera is going to last me. This thing has lasted, so it's done me so good, so I wanted to treat it right. And yeah, look, I'm wrapped with the fit and finish on it. So they've done a great job. So big, not a sponsored video by them, but big shout out to them over at ALPHGVRD. So if you've got an M50 or an EOS R, the Sony, I think like the A7R4s and the A7Ss and stuff like that, just go check them out. They've got a lot of range, and it's getting bigger and bigger. All different camos. That one's called Red Mamba. They have all different camos. They've got like black, just like stainless steel, titanium looks, heaps on there. So definitely worth going to check out if you've got a nice camera. They're expensive bits of kit that we use, and you want to look after it. Yeah, like the laptop. That's why I did the laptop. Make sure it looks after, no scratches, no bumps, no bruises, and it's not a big bulky rubber plastic. I've got the plastic yellow. I've got a yellow plastic bumper thing, but it's a pain in the butt. It's nowhere near as looks as good as this, and this will probably do just as good a job protecting it, if not better. So very cool. Go check it out. Now, the July comp. I have had no luck with comps. We did have one, the last comp. Did have a winner, a lovely lady from Sydney, I believe, and she was super wrapped. But this time, no one entered. I don't know what it is. I thought it was a perfect time to do a video where you just have to watch through a video to get the clue. I even, on the bottom of the video, on the two parts of the Danner video, so big shout out to Danner. I'm loving my new my 650s, Mountain 650s too, Danner. Thank you very much. Wore them today. Yeah, dry as my feet. Perfect. Big shout out to Boca, who the vouchers are from, so they could you could do your reels up, and then obviously the other gear I had to give away as well. I'm going to have to find and work out another competition. I really thought I had pumped it. I kept the part 2 video up on the back of every video, so people would link to that and possibly go to that and then see the competition and the info, but nothing. Can't come and give stuff away. That's crazy. I thought it was a perfect time in the COVID to sort of run that way and do a little bit of something fun where you got to go and have a bit of a look and a find and a read and obviously not. But anyway, not much I can do about it. But yeah, I do want to shout out Boca Bearings for the continued support of the fishing team that I'm in, the Tigers Fishing Club, which is how this channel started. And we did a video with them this year with the how to upgrade your bearings on my bike, on my PK Ripper. We did the Boca Bearings ceramic on those. Fantastic. If you are looking for fishing, to do your fishing reels up, even if they're offshore stuff, go check out their saltwater series. It is amazing. You cannot go wrong. Their bearings are all fantastic. I've got them in all my reels, and I've never had a drama with them. I don't know if I have upgraded this one because they didn't have the model out when I bought this, but I haven't. I've only used it the one trip last year, not this year. I didn't get to use it this year, but look, they're a fantastic company. Customer service is second to none again. Definitely high quality bits of kit. If you want to do your bikes, lures, anything that does bearings, give them a call. I'm sure they can help you out. Or if they, for whatever reason, don't have it, they can definitely get someone or let you know who to go to. I'm sure, no doubt about that. So go check out and support these guys. They probably our only major sponsor that we've had. And we've collaborated with them to do the Boca Bearings video for the bike. So yeah, a big shout out for them and providing the vouchers, which I'm sure we'll use with someone else. We'll definitely find a solution to that. I don't think that'll be too much of an issue for that high quality product that they put out. So yeah, a little bit sad, a little bit daunting, but that's okay. We'll get there. I'll just find a different way. Maybe I'll just do a whole video just on the competition. That might be the thing, something different. I'll work it out this week when I get back to work. Anyway, let's get into some news. That's about all I had. So we'll get into the news, I guess. Rightio, the first ARM Mac laptop specs have apparently leaked. How accurate these are, but from what it's sounding, it's probably sounding fairly accurate. I guess probably 80% probably chance of being right. It's A14X chip, so obviously the A14 is going to be the new one in the 12 phones. The X denotes for the laptop and the iPads and stuff, or for the iPads and bits and pieces, which is the little bit more powerful. It's going to be a choice of 8 to 16 gigabytes of RAM, not bad at all. 256 or 512 gigabyte hard drive, 512, perfect. Storage, and that's SSD storage. This is the good one, 15 to 20 hours of battery life. Now, the big thing with these ARM processors, much like your phones and the iPads and stuff like that, they are very low power usage. So, and that's as well as they're really super tiny small at like 5 nanometers or 7 nanometers or something ridiculous. They also, and because they're smaller but have the same power, the same amount of transistors in a smaller spot, you get less power usage, less heat. So yeah, just a lot better. So 15 to 20 hours, that's pretty damn cool. Normally about 10 hours is a good sort of ballpark figure for a laptop. So that's pretty well done. If that's close to the mark, that will be a big selling point for them. USB-C, only one. So there's just one USB-C port. So you're definitely going to have a dongle life with some sort of multi one. And I have had dramas, I must admit. I did buy a multi-port dongle for my 16-inch MacBook Pro, and the only two ports work on it are the ones that go straight into the ports. If I add anything else in there, it cuts out one or the other. So already not impressed with that part of it. I think I've just got to get more stuff that's USB-C prone, which is my major hard drive. I need to upgrade that, the big girl, to a USB-C. So probably give that another 6 months. It'll be close to full anyway by then. So other than that, it's a 12-inch. So we did say there's a 12-inch. So this will be the one. And I think that's a great spot to be. 12-inch Retina. So then you'll have, so I'm assuming that the second ARM one will come out will be a 14-inch. So you'll have the 12, the 14, 16. And then I'd say at some stage they may upgrade next year the 16-inch to an ARM chip as well, and give you the option of Intel or ARM. Whether they're going to give us the option of Intel and ARM in either, whether the 12-inch is just going to be purely ARM, the 14 and 16 may become a pick your poison sort of a scenario. Not sure 100%, but the 12-inch looks like this is going to be the first ARM one, and I'd say they'll probably just keep you one option for that just to get them out there so they can see how they go and see how it works. Camera, FaceTime, typical crap 720p, which is still friggin' ridiculous. At least 1080p for Christ's sake, Apple. Like, especially these people working at home. Why do people nowadays have to go and buy an external friggin' camera or use a camera to get decent picture quality when you're paying $4 or $5 grand for a computer? That is friggin' insane. And again, it looks like they're shoving a epoxy 720p one in there. Do something. Like, if you can get 4K out of a friggin' phone, surely you can fit something in that screen to give us that, or find another solution. It's because 720 is pretty shit. Less than a kilo in weight. So total unit, 12 inches, only going to be tall. So it's only going to be a little bit bigger than the iPad Pro anyway. So 1 inch bigger. So less than a kilo, about right. Now, price-wise, $800 US. So that's 700 is 1,000, probably around $1,100 to $1,200 Australian, maybe 1,300 max. If you max it out, $1,400 for a lightweight. That's probably similar to the Airs. I'm not quite sure what the Mac Airs are, but I'm sure they're around the same price. I'll just go in here and check it out. So yeah, look, it's going to be a big thing for them. If you go to that ARM chip, they need to sell it. It's going to have to be good. Putting it in that 12-inch market is a good thing. Now the MacBook Air is $899 US just on the site now, so I'm not sure. Let's have a see what the weight is of that. So it's going to be very similar to your MacBook Air in price. Just see if it's got a weight here. Weight 1.29 kilos for the Air. So if this is under a kilo, they're dropping 300 grams plus out of the Air weight, which is just ridiculous for a laptop. Amazing. Don't know how they're going to do it. That 12-inch is going to sell like hotcakes with that ARM chip. We've seen all last week how the ARM chip playing games and stuff is showing off its huge potential. It's going to be, I think it's just a matter of time before it takes over. That ability to use multiple platforms and do everything for Apple is amazing. The ARM looking at getting sold, that looks like that's just about a done deal. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, very, very nice. So very interested on that one. I think we'll hear more about this in the October event when Apple does their release, because they have pushed that back to October now. So very, very cool. Right. TikTok. We talked, I think, late last week how they were dropping 200 million on their creators to try and keep them hanging around. Well, that wasn't enough. So they upped it over the weekend to $2 billion over 3 years. And a lot of that is in the States. So $1 billion is earmarked for the US market over 3 years. And then the rest of the coin is pretty much going to filter out to the smaller markets, Europe and Asia, and probably $5 for Australia. That should cover us. Just to keep TikTok in there. So, and then over the weekend also there was talk about Microsoft buying TikTok. So that is the latest rumor. Microsoft looking to buy TikTok. It's going to cost them, well, if they go on the actual what they got quoted, what they got the market value last week at 50 billion. Going to be pretty interesting to see if they do get that. That's a huge spend for just one app. Yeah, don't know. It's a lot of mullah. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of reach out there. It's a huge platform at the moment, but it's still a singular use thing. I guess it's not like Instagram where it's photos. I guess it's a bit of a fad. So once it dies off, that 50 billion is going to come trickling down pretty quick, or as whoever takes it over is going to have to make sure that they continually get that that content in there to make it cutting edge, to make it the number one thing. It's a huge gamble, $50 billion on that one. But if anyone's got the coin, it's probably Microsoft. Right, GMC. If you haven't heard of GMC, they're basically Australia's holding. You've got General Motors, and then it's like a GMC in America. It's not like your normal Chevy. It's like the fancy Chevy. So I guess it's like the Lexus is to Toyota. So you've got Toyota, and then they've got the fancy Lexus badge, which is just the same crap with leather seats and all that. They do it with most car manufacturers. I think Ford has Lincoln, GM and GMC. GMC's got some really nice utes. They do like the Escalade and all those trick cars you see on the movies, the big black sedans and stuff like that with the big 30-inch chromey wheels, all that sort of stuff. Well, they're bringing out the electric Hummer. They teased it early last week. They've got LeBron James on board. He's the ambassador for the project. Well, they also added out into that a ute. So twin cab ute. I think they call it a truck over there. It's basically a twin cab ute, 1,000 horsepower. Production begins 2021, 2020 in fall. So fall, I think, is the end of their summer. So I'm thinking September, October. We'll hear a heap more on that, because that's when you're gonna be able to pre-order both models, the Hummer version and the Ute version. And you can also pre-order it. They'll have the full release, and 2021 fall production will be cracking on now. They've teamed up with LG batteries, so the batteries should be fairly good. Tesla's with Panasonic, and we'll talk a little about them in a little bit. But so Tesla's got Panasonic batteries. GMC has joined forces with a battery company, which is a smart thing. As an electric car manufacturer, the batteries are pretty darn bloody important. So to get to someone as big as LG, who makes a really good battery, we've seen them in a lot of their scooters, electric scooters. The LG batteries are pretty well renowned. So I think they've got that history there, so it should be good. Now the first building has gone up. They started building that with LG. It's going to be a 30 gigawatt per year building, so basically the same as one of Tesla's gigafactories. So they're taking this pretty serious. GMC, they're jumping straight in. It's going to be a big thing. I think they're trying to upsell this as a better version of a Tesla. The fighting is going to be thick and fast for that dollars. There's huge amounts of investment dollars. We've seen what happened with Nikola. We've seen what happened with Rivian over the last month or two. Huge amount of money getting dumped into the electric industry. It's happening. It's coming. It's just a matter of when and how much. And that economy of scale needs to still come down a fair bit to get to us, I think, because it's fairly cheap over in the States. And they've got an infrastructure in there. We've got nothing here in Australia, and I'm assuming they've got to still expand a fair bit else in the other regions to get it to really blossom. But big news. And the Ute does look, they've got a bit of a shadow. I've got a photo on the thumbnail. It does look pretty enticing. Very, very similar to, say, like your Jeep Gladiator, that sort of shape, form factor, which will then run in line. And it should be about the same size as a Bronco, they're saying as well. So very interesting. And then last but not least, speaking of electric vehicles, Tesla, Panasonic and Tesla, as I just mentioned, are a team. Panasonic builds the batteries inside Tesla's gigafactories, and then they make them for their cars. It's a joint venture. So basically Tesla builds the building, and then Panasonic comes in, puts the infrastructure, their technology, build the batteries, provide them to Tesla at a deal, and then that's how it blossoms. Well, they've said to Tesla they're going to boost it up over the next couple of years. Over 5 years, they're going to be able to increase the density of the batteries by 20%. So that's 1/5. That's huge increase. Density basically means you get the same power for a smaller package. So you can either fit more batteries in and have a longer range, or for less batteries you get the same range. Either way you want to put it, depending on your model variant. If you've got a long range wagon, well then you can put more batteries in at the same size and get, instead of 400 miles, you may now get 600 miles. Or in your run around cars, you might be able to take that weight out and get the same 200-300 miles, but with less weight, which is better for fuel, or better on the environment, blah, 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 blah. So very, very cool. Now they're starting off, and also, as well as that, 2 to 3 years, they've promised to get rid of cobalt out of their batteries. So cobalt free, and apparently it's a lot to do with the country where a majority of the cobalt is mined. Pretty poor conditions. The people get treated pretty crap. So they want to try and get that out, so it takes that money away from all the warlords and the dickheads and all the rubble, and probably gives those people a little bit more of a normal life without all that badness. So, and it's better for the environment too. So cobalt at the moment is sort of, from what they were saying, manages the battery and keeps them safe. So it's not like a 5-minute thing, but over 2-3 years, they're going to be able to get rid of that and make the batteries a lot better. So lots happening in the electric market. Lots happening with Apple. There was Apple come back, and after those hearings last week as well, with the Congress, with the Facebook and all the other Facebook, Google, Amazon. Tim was over there, had to come back, bounce out of that, saying that, we're not doing anything wrong, we've got to fight Samsung, blah, 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 blah. And then had the investor meeting, and basically Apple's on song at the moment, and shares are going through the roof. Big things, good things. I think a lot of it's got to do with this ARM, and I think you're going to see more of it. Legion Energy, beautiful. Rightio, that's it. Monday. Well, I'd like to say congratulations to the winner, but No one entered. It's still quite funny. I have sort of been looking every day just to see if there's anyone, and I didn't know what to do. What do you do without actually get on and go, enter? So I even wrote on there what to enter in the comments, and still nothing. So, oh well. I'll think of something. We'll get another comp up and work something out how to get rid of this awesome gear. And yeah, a big shout out yet again to Boca for their continued support. And yep, if you haven't, anyway, go check out the Denner video. And if you're not, go check out the ALPHGVRD video and see the M50 in all its glory. It's come up a treat. Definitely can recommend that for you to. Good little project through COVID where you can sit down and concentrate and just switch off with the headphones on and just work. Perfect. Especially if you're not videoing, because it was a pain in the ass trying to get everything in video at all. Okay, I'll see you all again tomorrow. Have a great day, and thanks for stopping by. Radio. If you're not going that way, catch ya tomorrow.